Hello, good morning, and welcome back to my channel. I am here from Italy. I've just actually done a little, very mini workout, and we are about to go get showered and then sadly catch our flight home after what has been an incredible week. Feels like we've been here ages, but it has been so good. So we actually came here to Puglia, which I keep pronouncing as Puglia. Last Wednesday for one of my school friends' weddings, for our school friend to get married, and it was the most insane 4 days of just like celebrations, partying, drinking. Amazing, best wedding I think I'll ever go to in my life. But that's another story. And then because we were in this region and knew we wanted to come for a week and make a bit more of a holiday out of it, I linked up with a company called Yuniqly, who organise like luxury cycling, running, swimming experiences around this area. So we got in touch with those, and they kindly pointed us in the direction of somewhere great to stay. So here we are in Puglia Wellness, which was only actually about 25 minutes away from where the wedding Messira we were staying in was. So that was perfect. And we hired a car to get here. So since we've been here, we arrived late on, I think, Sunday afternoon, and we pretty much just like looked around. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. You've kind of got your own little villa thing. There's jacuzzi, pool, little gym area. It's just beautiful, in the most beautiful settings. And we just kind of like chilled in the jacuzzi, got settled in. And then we have literally got notes here because I'm going to butcher all the towns. But we went to Rotondo for pasta and pizza, which is one of the local historical towns. Pretty much all the local towns, because there's quite a few around that you can visit in this area, all have like historical areas and are beautiful. And what I've found to love the most about around here is pretty much everywhere they have like pasta as a starter and then your main, but it's like a main size portion of pasta, which is like my kind of food. So we had pasta and pizza and a bottle of wine, and obviously went and found gelato. And that was like night one here, which was so lovely. It was a lot tamer than the first 4 nights we had in Italy, but it was very needed. Day 2, we got up and had some breakfast at Puglia Wellness, where we're staying. The night before, they put like a menu in your room, and you can like tick and add and bits that you want. Like everything is locally sourced and made nearby. So like you can have vegan croissant, whole grain croissant, normal croissant, and you have like 4 different choices of fillings for them. Many savoury course. So obviously we got like pretty much everything. Savoury, fruit, yogurt, croissants, the works. And then we went cycling with Yuniqly. So they give you an actual tour guide, ask how far you wanted to go. We said around 70-80k because we knew it was quite rolling nearby. And it was honestly such a good way to see the area. Like things we hadn't done, because we'd been in like wedding celebration mode of just like boozing and going to beach bars and stuff like that, and having like pool passes around the villa. We didn't really see much. One of the days we did actually run to Ostuni, but apart from that, so that was, cycling was a really good way to see places. So we went to Martina Franca, and then to Alberabella, which has some of the oldest trulli houses in the region, or maybe in Italy, I don't know, which are really cool. I've never seen these houses before, but they're everywhere here, and they're like, amazing. We went to a viewpoint, and then annoyingly Rory got a puncture, which was quite a delay, but obviously I was just working on my tan. And then we cycled back through Sistinino and came back to Puglia Wellness, and they put on like, I basically said, oh yeah, we'll just have a snack, and honestly it was a feast. So we sat and had that, and then pretty much just laid by the pool and relaxed, and yeah, just like chilled for the afternoon. And then on that evening we we obviously thought we'd come back and do a gym session and stuff, and then we're just like, nah, let's sunbathe. And then on the evening, we went to a place called Segil Mesapica, I think. Clearly not. That doesn't sound like it's right, does it? But we actually went to a Michelin star restaurant called Sibus, and we got told it'd be really hard to get into, but we somehow managed a few hours before, literally rang up and got in, and we had like 5 courses and a bottle of wine, and it was still only like €150. And honestly, it was the best meal I think I've ever eaten in my life. Like, absolutely unbelievable. One of the mains was donkey, so that was very interesting, but they recommended it and said it was fantastic. We had pasta dishes, we had like different cheese, like an appetizer board, lamb. I don't know what we had for desserts, but I just basically whatever he recommended, and it was great. And the wine had come from the area, and the whole thing was just absolutely unbelievable. And the whole restaurant had like all the Michelin stars on the wall. They had about 12, so it was incredible. Honestly, that meal in London, you would have paid like £400 or £500 easily. So that was incredible. I have to say that's been my favourite thing about Italy has been the food. It's just been absolutely unreal. So I would recommend coming here for that alone. So that was just, perfect evening. And then I didn't really think the week was going to get any better, but yesterday was honestly one of the most fun days I think I've ever had. It was so good. So we got up and Pascal from Yuniqly again had arranged to meet us quite early, and then took us on an incredible run. Obviously, like, not being from the area, we would have just headed out the door and see where we end up. And everywhere's beautiful, so it would have been lovely. But he drove us like a few kilometres away from actually where he lives to a track, which was actually not a canal, but like essentially like a water pipe that feeds the whole region. And we just basically did an out and back, but there was no cars. It was beautiful. We saw loads of things. There was a water fountain, so we could drink fresh water halfway through. It was very hot, even at like 7 a.m. I think there's been a heat wave here because it's only early June and it's been like 34 degrees some days, which I have not complained about. I've loved. So we got up and ran, and then came back and had another breakfast, and then we just chilled by the pool, and then this is where the fun started. So we drove to Poligano a Mare. I'm butchering that, I'm sure. Me and Rory, I think it's quite like, it's not a very touristy region around here, but I think of all the places, that is the most touristy bit. And there's like a beautiful cove, like a rocky beach, and we sat and had like an Aperol spritz and like a gorgeous lunch with fresh fish, and then went for a little bit of a paddle ourselves. And then we were meeting Yuniqly there at that same point to go for an evening swim. Now, we all know how I feel about swimming, and I was a bit like, I've paddled, so not really that arsed about going for a swim. Honestly, was I wrong? It was unbelievable. We had a guide to take us for a swim. Sorry. So we went for a swim, and he took us out round this corner to this cave, which, again, I got to kind of see the entrance of it. It was absolutely freezing, and I was like, do I want to go in it? I've seen it. Anyway, we went in. Best decision ever. As you can see, it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved it. And then we swam all the way to another bay. So I'm actually amazed at myself that I got some swimming done on holiday. And it was just great. And we had a guide with us. We loved it. And then we got out, and then they took us on our traditional small Italian boat. And we had beers on the boat and just like took in all the views, and like it was honestly so good. Most fun day ever. And then we got off the boat, and they was like, what are your dinner plans? This is the team at Yuniqly, and they took us to like, somewhere they live, like a traditional place, and we essentially had a fish sandwich. You could pick all different ones. They had raw prawns, which apparently is a thing here. I couldn't get on board with it, so I had a cooked swordfish sandwich, but it was incredible. It was huge, but like really beautiful bread. It didn't feel like you'd had like a massive stodge thing, even though it was huge. It was just like just everything is perfection with food. So we had that, and then wandered for an ice cream. Obviously, so you've got to get one more gelato before you leave. And then came back, and this morning we got up, done a very, very mini gym session, had breakfast, and then here I am telling you all about it. And it's honestly been like the best trip ever. I couldn't recommend enough Yuniqly for organising the training side of it. And it didn't even feel like training, it felt like being tourists. Like it felt like we had all these experiences that I would just want to do on holiday, like whether you were training for something or just like, you know, if you're just an active person who likes to see Italy. So I definitely did that. And I would definitely recommend coming and doing something with them, because it was just fab. Like we saw so much in about 3 days and had like the most incredible experiences. The team are absolutely lovely, so accommodating. The bikes that they lent us were beautiful, like carbon, and just like everything was just so easy and just made the whole thing like feel like a real holiday. So yeah, I had the best time ever. I'm very sad to be going back to London today. However, I'm so excited to see my dog. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you've got any questions about Yuniqly or like restaurant recommendations or like towns to see, I hopefully won't butcher them if I write them down. But yeah, just drop me a message in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.